Good morning, everyone. Hope you're off to a great start on this lovely Saturday morning. The first long weekend of summer. They say this is the unofficial beginning of the summer season, and man, it's pretty nice out there this morning, and exciting for those folks who like to go camping. I am not one of those folks who like to go camping, but if you're into that, you got a great weekend by the looks of it. So I'm certainly happy for you, and I'm happy to be around my house today and do odds and ends. And this morning, all the little birdies are out there eating all the bird seed and having a good time. So it's fun to watch. But so last time we briefly looked at the tribulation. There's no way you could do that in one video, but we did look at some things with the judgment and destruction and a lot of death that will take place. And we saw that the Lord is dealing with Israel, and he's drawing them back to himself, and he's dealing with the wicked nations of the world that are led by the Antichrist. So I just want to pause for a second. This week there was a lot of anti-Israel, anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic, whatever word you want to use, activities going around in our area, in Toronto area, GTA. And I wanted to let you know that, without a doubt, Israel's God's chosen people. They are being attacked, and it's energized by Satan. There's a lot of hate in this world. We're to love each and every one of us. They're not to do the things that we see, windows being smashed in synagogues and things like that. That's all wrong. It's all wicked. And we need to be in prayer for the Jewish people and be a friend to the Jewish people. So just want to say that because, again, this week has been really unbelievable around here. So let's be in prayer for them. And so back to the focus of the Facebook devotion. I mentioned last time we're going to look at the Antichrist. So who is he? So he is human, okay, and he will be energized by Satan, and he'll rise to prominence in the tribulation period. He will lead the revived Roman Empire. He'll enact a peace treaty with Israel. In Daniel chapter 9:27, it talks about that. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate, even unto the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolation. So really the first part of the verse I want to get. So he starts a peace treaty for a week. That's 7 years. And then halfway through, 3.5, he breaks that, and enters the temple and things. He'll seek to dominate the world then, and even leading up to that event, and will try with all his might to destroy the Jewish people, like destroy every Jew. And he'll harshly, along with his cohort, we'll look at in a moment, persecute believers and set up his kingdom. And you can read about that in Revelation chapter 13. Now, the term beast is the most frequently used title of the Antichrist in the book of Revelation. It's actually used 32 times. And the Greek word for that, it indicates a wild animal. And if you read much about the Antichrist, if you've done any kind of study about him, you'll know he is like a wild beast. Okay, he's after it. We read of another beast, though, in Revelation 13. And I beheld another beast come out of the earth. He had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So this beast is the Antichrist's right-hand man. As such, we would know him as well by the title of the false prophet. And he will actively seek to bring the worship of the Antichrist. He'll go into the world globally, and he'll use miraculous signs, perform great things. He'll even bring fire from heaven. So he's trying to draw people to worship the Antichrist. And those who refuse to worship the Antichrist bring the wrath of the false prophet. And if they don't change their mind pretty quick, it's their death, okay? This will not be a time of mercy and grace and, figure it out. Maybe this is for you. None of that, okay? In those days, no one will be able to buy or sell without receiving the mark of the beast. The Satan, the Antichrist, and the false prophet will form like an unholy trinity. Okay, this is what this would be like. The Revelation reveals that the false prophet will seek to force everyone to worship the Antichrist. And It'll cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. And this is where about receiving the mark on their foreheads or the hand. And no man might buy or sell save he have mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. He demands that all take the mark of the beast. And in some way, they have it on their hand, the right hand, or on the forehead. And if you got to do this. This is what they're going to promote. If any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God. So that's the next chapter. Chapter 13 talks about people getting it and why. Chapter 14, we read that verse, actually 9 and 10, that taking the mark is not an accident. Okay, it will be a deliberate choice, a very deliberate choice. And it has eternal consequences. I personally believe that the mark will be taken with great pride. There's no middle ground. It's either you're for it or you're against it. And those who are getting it, they're going in all in. And I kind of lean towards it being a brand. It's like sheared on as such, with the, as we would see they do with cattle and things. Now, it could be way more technical than that. But it's form of pride. People will know that you got the mark, okay? And I think people walk around with a great deal of pride because it's opposed God. We don't believe there's a God. We're our own gods. Just, in my mind, just falls right in with man's sinful pride of who they are. We're our own God. We're our own master. We'll do what we want. So again, no mark, no commerce, no food. Mark, you get those things. So it's still a pretty horrible time. It is absolutely horrible time here on earth. But eternal consequence, you've chosen Satan, you've chosen wickedness, and there's a judgment for that. The Antichrist will mimic the true Christ in many ways. Here's just a couple. Jesus is God, and John 1 and 1, verses 1 and 2, I should say. And the Antichrist will claim to be God. He'll tell people that. Christ will perform miracles and wonders. We see that, we read about that in the Gospels. Antichrist will be engaged in counterfeit miracles and signs and wonders. You see that in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Jesus is crowned with many crowns. Antichrist will be crowned with 10 crowns. Okay, Jesus Christ was resurrected in Matthew chapter 28. Antichrist will experience a apparent resurrection, all right? Again, Antichrist is human just like you and me. He'll be born just like you and me, live like us in the sense of this planet. Now there's all kinds of different thoughts out there about who this guy is and so forth and so on. Here's a couple that I have heard over the years, and I just want to kind of, don't get too excited about this stuff. I don't know if this is true or whatever. So some think he'll be a Jew and others say he'll be a homosexual. There's no verses confirming that. And I really lean towards he's definitely not a Jewish man. Okay, a Jewish man trying to eradicate Jewish people, that's a stretch, big time. And Antichrist in the scriptures is pictured as rising from the sea. Okay, the term sea in scripture often refers to the Gentile nations. So I really do believe that he's a Gentile individual. This unholy trinity, though, is doomed. Okay, that's not going to last. At the end of the 7-year tribulation, the Antichrist, false prophet, are cast alive into the lake of fire. That happens before the beginning of the millennial reign. After 1,000 years, the devil will be thrown in as well. He's loose for a little season after the 1,000 year, or at the end of the 1,000 years, he's overcome again and then cast into the lake of fire, and that's where they'll be for eternity. There's no escape. Okay, that is their eternity. That's what's going to happen. So I hope that helped you understand a little bit more about the Antichrist, the false prophet, and just some things that will take place during their time. Next week, Lord willing, we'll examine the 144,000, maybe some other things too. But again, just really high level things, just observing from real quick as such. So tomorrow, it's tomorrow, right? Today's Saturday. Tomorrow, Sunday at church. We'll look forward at 9 a.m. service. Pastor Matt's going to be opening the word for us, so we look forward to that. Then at 11, we'll continue our series in Psalms, and we're examining Psalm 74. So if you want to get some time for a little reading today before tomorrow, check out Psalm 74. That can just help you prepare for the message tomorrow at 11. We hope to see you out. I don't think there'll be any reason why you can't because of weather. It's supposed to be gorgeous. So hope to see you at church. And if you can't make it, we're planning to have everything online so you can watch and observe, and you can be involved with the service that way. All right. I hope you have a great Saturday. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy family. Take care. And God bless. Bye for now.